What is going on, everybody? Yet again, it has been a long time since I posted a video, but just got busy again. Whoops. But either way, try once more to start uploading regularly now that we are out of race season and into our winter season, redoing cars, getting them ready for next year. We've done a good amount since the last video. Pretty well have not touched this car since it came off the racetrack at the last race in Montgomery. As you can see, we got the rear end out. We thought for sure the rear end was bent. It's not, but
I didn't realize it until I went back to edit this video, but I'm fixing to say trailing arm like 1,000 times. What I mean to say is panhard bar. We broke a panhard bar.
it did break our trailing arm and broke the adjuster for the trailing arm off either inside the trailing arm or broke it at the bracket, whatever. It's toast, need a new trailing arm. We tore the right front off of it, hub and spindle and all, hub straight somehow. So overall, for slamming the wall as hard as I did to break a trailing arm, we really didn't tear that much up except for the trailing arm, which I'm glad. But obviously still knocked us out of the race, so oops. We had an adjuster on that trailing arm, that way we could kind of pull the rear end a little bit with it. I think we're going to do away with that and just have a regular trailing arm, no adjuster, 2 heims on either end, and be done with it. And maybe it'll be a little bit shorter and a little bit harder to break, a little more rigid. But as you can see behind me, we've built a second story onto our shop here. I can't remember if I showed it in the last video or not, but this was like nothing but junk over here. You know, just stuff we had no place to put, was everywhere. And we like you could barely even walk around this car right here, and it was where I'm standing. So we built us a second story under our shop to just put everything out of the way, pretty much. And then a lot of it, there's a sale this weekend going on at Full Throttle Race Parts up in Nashville, and all this stuff that we no longer use, spindles that we've moved away from, radios that we don't use anymore, old set of scales, carburetors off supercars, fuel cells from the supercars, wheels from the supercars, all this stuff that we don't use anymore, we're going to take and try and sell and get out of the way. What we still think we might use sometimes is up there, and I'll go up there and show you all that. Some old furniture that my granddad built long ago that we've just decided to hold on to. But it's not too shabby up here. It's a little bit short, I'll admit that. It's not, I can't stand up straight except for on the very edge. So, you know, we just walked in and my head is already against the ceiling. But a lot of it's gone now. A lot of this stuff was stuff that we planned to sell, but we've got porter powers up here and some grease guns, stuff like that. Miscellaneous body parts. I don't remember what's in that cabinet, probably grease and oil and whatnot. All the stuff to start building a second race car is in these cabinets. You know, dressing for a motor, spindles, the bolt-on snouts for axles, sway bar arms, ignition, driveline stuff like that. Over there we got some shocks that none of them are good. They're all load shocks just for running down the road, but we got some breathers over there, these boxes for my steering wheels, old body parts that are still good. There's actually a full body over there. We're going to put it on the car that's on a jig right now. Pretty much all that exhaust stuff is just headers from the supercars, some old windshields, my ISP seat that hopefully will go in that car that is on the jig right now. Like I said, some other body part stuff, breathers and whatnot. But yeah, we built us a little second story. There's a radiator and an oil cooler in that. Little second story, give you a nice view over the shop and whatnot. Got a lot of stuff out of the way. Cleared up a lot of space for us. Under here, we've moved a lot of stuff around. Our referee and, I don't know if our referee and our roof mounting fixture are gonna stay over here, but they're under here for now. And at least in a place where you can get them in and out. We've got our rivets and I don't know what else is in there, fittings and kind of, looks like there's some engine spacers, stuff like that. Got all that organized and got it labeled versus having half of it back here just in boxes and half of it at the front of the shop in the red boxes. So that's nice. We moved some of our fabrication stuff over here. We've got our brake and our press, or our finger brake and our shear over here. I guess just because it fit in a little better over here than it did over there on that side of the shop, and now we have more room over there for walking around the jig and welding on it, because it used to be a little bit cluttered over there, and also making room for my machine shop as I grow and need a little bit more room to put stuff. But yeah, that is pretty much all the updating we've done to the shop. And now we're like what, 2 or 3 weeks away from the Derby, and we're just now touching our car that came off the racetrack however long ago. But we got all winter. We're not going to the Derby, obviously. I don't know when our first race will be of next year, but we've got time. So this weekend is Veterans Day today. Thank you to all those who have served. You know, their sacrifices allowed us to do things like this, and we are forever grateful for those people. So this weekend, long weekend, we are going to work on getting this car cleaned up, get the rear end put back in it, and patch it a little bit. We got some stuff that needs to be fixed. Like it doesn't really show up on camera too bad, but it is cracked pretty bad. We'll patch that up. The door needs to be taken off and beat back out straight. It's dented in right there. Sheet metal, probably won't be able to see that, but either way, all of this sheet metal back here is like bowed up. We're going to have to fix that. Patch up our bumper and quarter panel. They are also beat up pretty bad, but we can patch all that. It needs a new bumper. We will not be able to save that bumper. We'll probably cut it and save the actual tube off of it, but the arms won't be saved. Luckily, nothing on the clip is bent, except for, yes it is, except for that little mount right there. Our little tie down mount for the trailer got bent. We'll have to bend it back out. But as far as the actual rear clip goes, nothing back here is bent. It's all good. There's a couple dents and scratches on the powder coat from where the rear end was slamming around and the third link was hitting stuff, but overall, car's not too bad. We're just gonna get it spruced up, fix what we gotta fix, and get it ready for next year. Good morning. I don't even think you can see me, but it is early. We are here at Full Throttle Race Parts in Nashville, trying to sell off this trailer of stuff that we no longer use. See if we can make us some tire money today. It is way too early for this. Bam, we've made our first sale. 300 bucks or so. People are starting to get here. It is not getting any warmer. It's still very cold. But at least people are starting to show up. Maybe we'll sell some of this stuff off. We're hoping someone will just come up and buy the whole dang trailer off of us and be done with this. Either way, we sold a little bit of stuff. We can almost buy, that'll get us a tire and a half at the racetrack.
Gave some stuff away.
Uh-oh, gave some stuff away.
It's used race parts. You get about 2 cents on the dollar.
Either way, we've at least offloaded some of our junk. One less thing we'll have to take back to the house. Even more people here now. It is still just as cold. I am freezing. I think we sold a single shifter since that dude came and bought our caster camber gauges and all that.
Someone needs to come along and buy all this stuff. It's too cold to be hanging out here. I wish the sun would come up. I wish people would come over and buy some of our stuff. Well, we sold some of it. Most of it we did not sell, but there's several swap meets going on in the next month or so, being as it's the off season. So we'll try and sell some more of it, but hey, at least it's not cold anymore. It finally warmed up. I'm not freezing anymore, but I wish we would have sold some more. It's kind of ridiculous, but we got us a little bit of money, a little something to put towards our current cars. Either way. All right, we're back at the race shop. I am cleaning up on this car. Dad is working on the rear end. We are going to black oxide these axle tubes so that they don't keep rusting up like that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them rusting, I guess, but they'll just look a little nicer if we oxide them, and it'll keep them from pitting if they last that long. I imagine I'll just bend them before they get so worn out that they start pitting. But either way, we're gonna try and black oxide them. We'll see how that goes. And while he preps the surface on those, I'm going to continue cleaning on this car. All right, bam. Axles are done. Like I said, they look all right for what we're doing. They don't look great, but that's okay. A little abstract art on the axle tubes. So now we might hold off on throwing it back in there until this stuff will be okay. Probably fixing to put the rear end back in. I think we're gonna have to make us a track bar. I don't think we have a track bar short enough. So that will be next on the to-do list. All right, we got the rear end back ready to go in the car. Got my brother up here to help us. We're gonna slap this thing in here real quick.
Alright, which one are you? Me about 3 minutes ago. Watch your hand. Adam chose to. That's the bad thing about underslung. Yeah. Late model stock cars, the chassis goes over the rear end.
Damn, Adam.
And so it's a lot easier to put a rear end on a late model stock car. But yeah, Adam, it wouldn't have been so hard if Adam hadn't decided to fart right there at the right rear right before we put the rear end in. So that was horrific. And he's sitting under there giggling like it's funny.
Oh, I did it 3 minutes before we started doing this deal.
Well, it lingered. Either way, rear end is in there. We don't have a track bar to put on it right now, but we will get one, or we'll make one. We've got one. Put the track bar on it, trailing arm mounts, trailing arms.
Well, someone's got to answer Jackson.
Get all that put back on it and be ready to go.
What?
Go ahead and get all of them close, or else it'll blow the mount out.
Hold it.
Huh?
Hold it.
Out the mount. There you go. All right, there you go. Minus the brake calipers still hung up. They haven't been put back on yet, but trailing arms are on. Third link is on. Got us another track bar that we had in the shop and got it cut down and put on. So the rear end is back in. I think next season I will try not to slam the wall at the flag stand and break a track bar, but at least now we don't have that little adjuster on there, so there's not quite as much thread hanging out of the track bar, so it might not break quite as easy. But either way, like I said, it's going to do it for this video, the first real winter video for us. There'll be plenty more, so if you like this video, be sure to subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you don't miss another one. Like I said, we'll have plenty more throughout this off season. We're going to try and take this car to go test, probably at Montgomery, and we're going to try and take that car over there too and figure out which one is going to be the primary car for next year. Obviously we have a little bit bigger notebook on this one, being as we've put a full season on it, and this one only has one race on it. But either way, I would like to run this one next year if we can kind of compare notes with the left-hander, or what used to be a left-hander, I guess, and get this car pretty close. We'll probably run with this car next year. Well, that's the hope anyways. So like I said, if you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe. We will catch y'all in the next one.